Shall we play a game?
Rawr! We're live. I'm back with Autopsy Simulator tonight. I was running late and I didn't have time to get anything set up for any other game. And we got to continue playing this. So, let's get some sound. Make sure it's not too damn loud. And let's see if we can load. Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. Oh, look at this. So here's my bot. Stream Elements announces, hey, tonight's game is we're streaming Autopsy Simulator. Autopsies are a dying practice, just like Wesley Swipes' chance of winning a game. Maybe he should consider streaming cooking instead. At least he might have a chance of getting a win. Enjoy the autopsy. I mean, stream. Wow. Okay. All right. Last time we finished, we just got robbed, cleaned up, went to bed. Right? Right.
Oh yeah, I should take my pills.
Still can't touch the toilet. Damn it. That was something. What was that? What was that? And open these. Can't do anything in here. Can't open these. Disappointed.
I feel like it takes me forever to finish these things. That's enough. It will never look clean. I need to quickly change and finish getting ready.
Okay, so there's nothing new to play with. Can't even turn on Hero Smith Live. Why is there a towel on my chair? Only for one thing, kids. And it'll make you go blind.
I'm gonna be late for work again. Got my keys, got my files. Check. Time to go. Remember to close the door properly,
Yeah,
Jack.
yeah, I did.
I'll ask the neighbors tomorrow if they saw anything suspicious.
Who was that?
I wonder if Ridley fixed the coffee machine.
Can I go to 4 now? No! What floor am I on? Like, this doesn't tell you where you are. Like, there's no indicator. Let's... Okay, so... we gotta be on 3 then. Yet, I can't go to 4. Okay. Wait, why does that light up? Look.
Huh?
We are on 4. I pressed the wrong button. Got to the top floor of the building. See? I'm going insane. We're gonna take the stairs. Rip. Yeah, this is a weird way to go out. What's down here? Wait, look. Garbage has been picked up in about a year.
Maybe a bit optimistic. I'd better grab a coffee on the way. I'm exhausted.
Well, yeah, apparently I drive
Stephen brought
for
in today.
12 hours to get to work.
Good morning, Mr. Ridley. No, he's not here yet? No, I'll do without him.
Ooh, it's Red Pete. I can't go in here now. Why not? Yeah, I'm going insane.
Almost there. Now for the tough part. The body needs to be moved. Where's Ridley when you need him? Alright. I just need some gloves and my apron. Then I can get to work.
What about the camera?
I'm going to need my tape recorder for this. Autopsy dated November 22nd, 1991. 7:32 p.m. Led by Dr. Jack Hanman. I begin by verifying the identity of the Jane Doe. It's most likely Harper Lloyd, age 35. Found in a well-owned house by her neighbors Leonard and Dorothy Chelsea. Reported missing for a week. Firefighters found the body after the Chelsea family began complaining that their tap water tasted strange, and at one point had begun to smell and turn a dark. It is also known that the deceased was diagnosed with affective bipolar disorder. Harper was placed on drug therapy, which she dropped out of fairly regularly. During her treatment, the last person who had contact with the deceased was her partner. Harper's last message read as follows: "I'm gonna take a shit in their stupid well. Then we'll see who has the last." Police records also show that Mrs. Lloyd was in constant conflict with her neighbors. The constant parties and subsequent brawls made living in the area nearly impossible, especially when Lloyd's partner wasn't around. I proceed to open the bag and check the state of decomposition of the corpse. The most important task in forensic identification of a drowned person is to distinguish whether the death occurred before or after entering the water.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh my.
That could have been worse. I carefully removed the victim's clothes so as not to damage the skin. The deceased was found. One shoe is missing. I'm going to need the camera to document all possible suspicious marks. Definitely the first thing that stands out is the very advanced post-mortem gigantism.
Yeah, soak in water. That's what happens. Tub feet.
The skin of the deceased appears very delicate, smooth, and relaxed from being in the water for a long time. The whole body is extremely pale. The so-called washerwoman's skin on the feet. The deceased had indeed been in the water for a long time. The skin on the hands can be easily separated from the body. The separation takes the form of a glove.
Delicious.
There are some obvious scratches on the skin. There are bruises and hemorrhages on the neck. These usually occur due to increased inhalation when fighting to breathe underwater. It's likely that the deceased was lying on her back when she was fished out. Post-mortem markings are seen on the underside of the body, that is, on the back, thighs, and calves of the deceased. So, after the preliminary exam, it's time to take a closer look at this. Today's date, the deceased was clothed. Rigor mortis does not need to be checked. Based on the state of decay, you can be sure it has subsided. Where to start? We see thick, white foam in the mouth of the deceased, resulting from pulmonary edema. Foam is a characteristic in deaths due to drowning. There are obvious scratches on the skin, especially on the back and hands. These could be defensive wounds, evidence of some sort of altercation prior to death. The spots have a purplish blue-red hue, which is a typical sign of the death of the organism. No obvious signs of struggle. The skin on the hands would have easily peeled away from the flesh. Some of the fingers have already lost their nails. Yep, pretty typical. Livor mortis are formed as a result of putrefaction of blood in the veins. Due to the fact that the deceased was wearing shoes all the time, her feet are in better condition than her hands. Nevertheless, we can still notice a clear, wavy skin and the so-called washerwoman's skin texture. Okay, that's probably enough to indicate a direction for further examination. I'd better note that down in the records. Marks found on the neck and foaming at the mouth are typical signs of drowning people. Those abrasions appear relatively fresh. No healing or scarring is visible. Hands heavily wrinkled from submersion of water, typical washerwoman's skin. There doesn't seem to be anything unusual about this livor mortis. Diffuse spots are caused by blood rotting in the veins. Considering the deceased's penchant for drinking alcohol, it could have been a mere accident. Maybe it's just an abrasion, or maybe the result of a fight and being pushed into a well. Fortunately, the skin on the hands didn't fall off. Otherwise, I'd have trouble identifying the deceased. In this case, the question is, was drowning an accident or of suicidal intent? Their distribution suggests that the victim was probably lying on her back when fished out of the water. Livor mortis of a different color could indicate poisoning with carbon monoxide, cyanides, or nitrates. However, this is not the case here. A simple trip, loss of melon symptoms.
Various words, static outcomes. Numbers got bigger.
Ears bleeding. 4. Jesse! It's dark in here, I can barely read this. Missing or various words, static outcomes, numbers got bigger. Thank you. You're just in time to watch me cut something open.
Before I begin the dissection, I'll make sure the suggested identity is correct. The suitcase with the fingerprint equipment should be around here somewhere.
I've never ID'd a corpse before.
Oh, here it is. With decomposing bodies, the tissue of the pads of the fingers tends to shrink.
Use
To remove
glycerin.
these shrinkages, a mixture of glycerin or air is used.
That makes sense. Because the glycerin will adhere to the ridges and harden them up to make a fingerprint.
If the body of the deceased is well preserved, fingerprinting is similar to that of a living person. The fingerprint sheet should always be checked. Slipping fingers, too much or too little ink, or inaccurate hand position can make fingerprints illegible. I'm going to conduct a dactyloscopic examination. If in fact the deceased is in the police database, I will find her.
We'll find her. And I will... Wait, she's already
Glycerin
dead.
is injected successively between the nail and the skin of each finger. The substance then enters the fingertip, removing shrinkage and wrinkles.
Interesting. I did not know that you would inject it. But it makes sense. It would adhere to the inside and create the fingerprints.
Only when the skin is taut and elastic can you use ink. I think it's enough. I'm getting fingerprint samples. In the case of drowning victims, you have to be extremely careful. The skin may fall off the hand like a glove when you take the print. I'll use the fax machine to add the print into the system.
I'm trying to. Wow, welcome back to the 80s and 90s.
Button and... Once the data uploads, I'll run the prints against the police database on the computer.
I mean, if you're sending it to the police, can't they just go ahead and do that?
Great. The data is there. Click upload. Now, go through the database and find a matching print. Expect possible hours of fun.
Or just kind of look at them and see that it's probably that one.
One more. Analyze button.
Anal sis.
And we have a result. Everyone has a story to tell, even if it's just a police record. So, as predicted, the deceased turned out to be Harper Lloyd. That went smoothly. I'll print this out and attach it to the medical records.
Let's see. Disorderly conduct, aggressive behavior under influence. Disorderly conduct induces in vandalism. Disorderly conduct, aggressive behavior. Disorderly conduct. Shoplifting. Oh, that's better. Disorderly conduct. Shoplifting, petty theft, and disorderly. Let's see, we lasted a whole 3 months, then just over a month, then 5 whole or 6, 7, 8, 9 days. And we were good for the rest of the year until New Year's. We went another 7 months, got back on the sauce. Nice.
Great. Now I can go back to my inspection.
But I can't. Oh, there we go. Let's get into the slicing.
I have the name of the deceased. I'll start the internal examination by taking fluid from the victim's brain. A needle inserted through the nose will do the trick. If the victim was alive when she fell into the well, she must have swallowed water fighting for her life. And then diatoms, characteristics of pooled water like a well, got into the body. In the meantime, I'll check the sample under the microscope. I'm sure that these algae traces will be found in the samples taken from the well where police found the body. Now I need to adjust the knobs properly and place the diatom in the center of the slide. Diatoms are single-celled microscopic algae. I won't even notice an army of diatoms from this. Great. Oh, I'm finally starting to see something here. I'm finally starting to see something here. It's not a dirty lens, I'm afraid, but rather, man, perfect. It's not a dirty lens, I'm afraid, and perfect. It's not a dirty lens, I'm afraid, but rather a bad focus. And perfect. No. The aperture still needs adjustment. Oh, I'm finally starting to see something here. I won't even notice an army of Great. This way I'll see if I'm dealing with a large concentration of these algae. As expected, we find the aforementioned algae in the solution. Their upper part, epitheca, which overlaps the lower, hypotheca, is clearly visible. Poor soul. I get cases like this more than any. The presence of diatoms in the brain samples taken indicate that the deceased was certainly alive when she fell into the water and was possibly conscious. Since there were diatoms in the brain, it means that many more of them must have entered the body. Studies of the rest of the organs will most likely confirm this hypothesis. I can finally get to the practical part. I must be extra careful because the skin of the deceased is very stretched. I wouldn't want an explosion here. You can immediately see a very large swelling of the organs. In addition, all internal organs are very congested.
Come on.
I proceed to remove the rib cage.
Floppers.
It's easy to see that the ribs have been imprinted in the lungs. So, I'm going to start by drawing blood. If diatoms were only present in the lungs, this would mean that the victim was placed in the well after death, and the perpetrator wanted to get rid of the corpse in this way.
But we've already saw that there's diatoms in her body, which indicates she was alive when she was down there. That makes no sense.
Now, I remove the lungs and proceed to their examination. Taking the lungs in my
Smoker.
hand, I feel that the tissues have lost their elasticity, which is the result of water emphysema. In addition, there is significant swelling of the organs, and as a result, we have a nice imprint of the ribs. The emphysema itself, it's clear how far it's progressed, which is characteristic of drowning. Corpses found in water are worth examining with a tomograph. However, I can't count on such luxuries, so I must reach for a more archaic technology: a bucket and water. Who has anyone been here?
What the hell?
I hope no one dipped a mop in it. It's best to go to the lab for this. Historically, the lung float test is used to detect infanticide. The water should be at room temperature. That's enough. To test for this, I have to place the lungs in a container of water. This checks if there is air in the lungs. And speaking of lungs, everything is ready to bring them here. Oh, Jesus. Of course, such a study isn't without flaws. Air may have entered a newborn's airways during resuscitation attempts. Gases released during decomposition could... In this case, however, it's about something else. Namely, the amount of fluid in the lungs. To test for this, I have to place the lungs in a container of water and wait to see if they fall or if they will float on the surface.
My new floofers is dreaming. You probably can't hear this, but she's screaming down here. And we make soup. Oh, they sunk.
Just as I assumed, the lungs collapsed easily.
Wes just received a new like on Twitter.
On Twitter. I'll save that for later. We can boil it.
Fluid could have entered the lungs during panic attempts to catch breath underwater, but it could also be the result of bacterial infections or cancer, so further investigation is needed. I move on to dissecting the lungs of the deceased. You can hear the distinct, very unpleasant crackling of the tissues being cut through. The parenchyma is remarkably pale, although small hemorrhagic foci and petechia are present on the surface. All right. Now, I will check the collected fluid under a microscope. If we find 20 diatoms on the slide, it can be considered drowning, and our result is not false positive due to possible contaminations. Let's see. Although I expect I won't even notice an army of diatoms from this distance. The aperture still needs a... Oh, I'm finally starting to see something here. Great. This way I'll see if I'm dealing with a large concentration. It's not a dirty... And perfect.
That looks like a large collection.
As expected. In solution, the diatoms are clearly visible. There are smaller and larger clusters of them. There will definitely be more than 20 of them. I'll make a note of all this. So far, this case looks pretty standard. It's clear from the beginning that it's drowning. Well, the procedure requires me to check everything anyway. So, I move on to checking the other organs. I ligate the heart, and then remove it for inspection. Strongly developed putrefactic hemolysis, the organ can be seen at first glance. Apart from that, no signs of a heart attack or other heart disease. I move on to the next organ. This time, it's the liver. It's immediately apparent that the deceased didn't care for herself. Like most organs, her liver is enlarged and severely congested. The beginnings of cirrhosis are visible in some areas. I transfer the organ to a board and proceed to dissect. The cross-section clearly shows dilated veins and many small hemorrhagic foci. I must admit that this is quite a feat, considering the rather young age of the deceased. Harper enjoyed drinking so much that she might not have lasted a few more years. I move on to the stomach. I take a sample of the fluid for testing. It looks very turbid. I'll see what happens after spinning, but that's in a moment. Now, I carefully ligate the organ, then
It's a
cut it off.
chicken.
It's enlarged, probably full of putrid gases. I transfer it to the board and carefully open it, checking the contents.
It's a dove. Sorry. Looks like a chicken to me. Looks like a hen just sitting there.
One thing you'd never get used to is how much this desk smells.
You ever smelled, you go to an apartment building, all the people's foods all coming together in a giant waft? That plus crap.
Okay, the stomach is full of fluid and unidentified organic matter, which is probably leftover food. So let's check the diatoms. Again, but in a centrifuge for a change.
It
The
is
problem with examining drowned
future
people is
poop.
being able to show whether the death was due to drowning.
God bless America!
From different angles and a careful interpretation of the collected
Basket
data,
got it.
including those from the field. That's why it's so important to collect as many samples as possible. Unfortunately.
All right, we are going to use the centrifuge for diatoms, which we've not done yet. So I'll have to read the Notebook, even though I heard it's a wonderful movie.
Okay, this is one
And
last
I'll look at our
little
notes. That would be alcohol, barbiturates we've done, diatoms. 35 minutes at 25%. Okay. So turn. Why? Oh, I gotta put them in the thing first.
Now set.
35 minutes at 25%. Start it up. We lose power?
Done. I'll run it directly into the chromatograph and run it against the data from the police. I'm certain the analysis will show similarities between the fluid and water in Chelsea's well.
Chronograph's over here. We gotta prep it first. Now I get the pipette.
Let me think. 3 milliliters should be fine.
Set it up. 3 milliliters. And plunge. And withdraw.
Okay, now it's the chromatograph's turn. Yes. The water sample matches the one provided by the police.
Well water. Gastric contents. Wish you could scroll, damn it. This looks amazingly real.
Well, the results are quite clear. I was hoping it would be a more interesting case. More diatoms. Analysis indicates the same origin. Blah, blah, blah. There's little left to do. I'm going to check the airway patency of the interesting. Looks like there's something stuck in the trachea. I'm moving to the board for further inspection.
Yeah, look right there. That's enlarged.
I dissect the trachea and open the organ. Inside, I find a wedding ring, This is interesting. Let me look at it. Based on the size, I can say that it's a woman's wedding ring. Quite standard from the
Oh,
inside.
shit.
There's an engraving inside.
That's his wife's ring, which was stolen the other day.
What the fuck? But this is my ring. Alice's ring. But how did it? But this should be at home. I have it. At home. It's... I have to check this out. Where are my
Wedding rings
meds?
and urethras. On the next Maury Povich.
Fuck are my meds? Huh?
The fuck? You take a nice piss. No? Okay.
Jesus Christ! Hope these all make it go away.
Actually, it screams at me every single time I use it.
I have to check the apartment. It can't be. Jesus Christ!
Get to your car and return home immediately. Leave the body open and just sitting there. That makes sense.
Mr. Ridley. Mr. Ridley!
What's all the ruckus?
I need to go home. Immediately.
What? Now?
I have to. Have you seen anyone here this morning? Anybody suspicious?
No, there was no one. Dorothy was, but only for a moment, then she left. What's wrong with you, Hammond?
Okay. Thanks.
What about the corpse?
I'll come back, I promise.
Okay, tell me this guy does not sound like H. John Benjamin. Seriously.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, we should be driving in this state. That makes sense.
I have to check this out.
Still wearing our gloves and apron.
This can't be real. Where is it? Where is it? Where? Please. It's not here. It's not. I need to go. This is sick. Fuck. Come on, Steven. Pick up the fucking phone.
What's up, man?
They took the ring.
What? What ring? What are you talking about?
They took the wedding ring. Alice's wedding ring.
One sec. You mean burglary? You said nothing was missing.
Yes, I know that. I don't know. I was jittery. Maybe I didn't notice. I don't know, but that's not the worst of it.
Calm down, Jack. Breathe. What happened?
I found it in the trachea of the deceased I was working on. Do you understand? I pulled it out of a dead woman's trachea.
What?
I don't know what's going on. You think Red Pete wants revenge? He's playing with me. Huh? I knew it. I knew it from the beginning this was going to happen. I didn't make it up!
Jack, Listen to me. Try to calm down. Don't leave the apartment. I'll be with you right away, okay? I'm on my way.
What sane person would do something like that? How? And when? When the fuck? Fucking Ridley lets in whoever he likes as usual. What are you saying? Steve? Steven? Don't leave me, man. Come on. Fuck. Oh, God, what now? Okay, just calm down. Just, Jesus. What's going on?
Nothing in it.
Just one sip more. Yep.
Holy lightweight, Batman.
Jesus. Just one sip more.
Dude, come on.
Okay.
There's chapter 2 done. Even though we didn't finish the autopsy.
All right. I can't do it anymore. These reports will kill me one day. I'll have to finish it over the weekend. It's time to go to work.
I thought
Got the trash first.
Steven was coming over.
Fuck. Maybe I'll just ignore it. Yes.
Hi, this is Charlotte. I guess I interrupted you again?
Oh, hi. No, I just... I wrote reports in those last sections, and I was just about to leave for work.
I always know when to call.
Yeah, definitely. What's up? How are you?
I'm good, thanks. What about you?
Okay, nothing new. I had a few days off.
Oh, that's nice. Then... Did you have a moment to look for something for me?
Something for you?
Well, the photo with the photo I asked you for?
It hasn't come yet? Oh, sorry, but I said it a week ago.
No, not yet. Maybe I'm too impatient. Sorry for rushing you. You have so much on your mind, I thought maybe you forgot.
It's okay. No worries. With my pills, Pills. I almost forgot to take my pills. So you see...
Yeah.
I have to go now.
Yes, sure.
Let me know if you still haven't received the letter. Then I'll try... well, maybe I'll find something else.
Oh, really? Could you? It would be great if you could. Really?
Yes. I know it means a lot to you.
Well, I won't hold you any longer. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
That was awkward as shit.
Damn. Did I mess up the address? How am I gonna get those pills?
I mean, they did awkward well, because that was awkward as fuck.
Maybe I should invite Charlotte to do something herself.
Well, there's the trash. Right there. It does say greasy mac and cheese, right? Yes. Oh, a single bag of trash,
Ugh.
which will make a
Why is it
huge
so wet?
difference in this. Close the door.
I shouldn't be this tired. Fucking hell!
Maybe the garbage guys came on the alleyway here. Oh. Well, they took some of it.
I wonder if Alice's mother has a film of this photo somewhere. I actually hadn't thought about it before. I should call her on Friday.
The quick change of personality. Need alcohol. I mean, that guy he had a single glass and he was hammered.
Oh, God. Why do I like sleeping so much?
Who doesn't like sleeping?
Huh?
Lana? Lana! Lana!
Good afternoon.
Isn't it a bit early for you?
I missed our invigorating conversations. Has Stephen brought the body?
Yeah, the trolley's in the hall. Maybe wheeling it to the dissection room will be invigorating enough for you.
I've missed how friendly and helpful you are. I think I'll get straight to work on this one. Focusing on something will do me some good.
Oh, we never finished the last one. What was the outcome?
Christ, this one's heavy. Hey, Mr. Ridley, I need help. I can't lift this bag myself. Ridley! Ugh, wasn't easy. But at least I can start.
Last one was a nice set of furniture. Well, I mean, it would be nice if I got some closure. You know what I mean?
A new package must have arrived. I guess Dorothy ordered it. I think I'll skip recording a video for the students today. They don't need to see me. And
Not cash on delivery, cause of death.
And they'll still have the accompanying photos anyway. November 27th, 1991, 5:14 p.m. Conducted by Dr. Jack Hanman. James Evans Jr., also known as Jesse. Age about 30, weight 130 kilograms, height 180 centimeters.
Hey, we're in Louisiana.
Evans had previously been convicted of possession of stolen goods, robberies,
Anna,
and drug trafficking.
What you doing?
There were also attempts to
What you
accuse him
doing?
of leading a criminal group responsible for burglaries in the New Orleans area. What?
Oh, that's why.
Burglaries in the New Orleans area. This is... it's a rather strange coincidence.
Does this game have mods for the openly necrophiliac? No, I hope not, but I do know that they're working on a new mode for it. Or, just doing autopsies only. No story, no nothing. So, there's that.
Police photos show that the body was not even particularly hidden, but only covered with a thin layer of soil, branches, and leaves.
He was loved.
The body was found naked and mutilated. Clothes, probably belonging to the deceased, were found lying nearby.
Why? Why not? I'd play if it was nothing, just sitting around doing autopsies. It's an autopsy simulator.
The body was found inadvertently in the woods near Peetsville. The dogs picked up the scent while searching for a missing boy. The deceased's father, James Evans Sr., is a local businessman. He was the one who reported the disappearance. At the time of the report, his son hadn't been home for 3 days. Sounds disturbing. I wonder what condition the body is in then. I'll start by opening the bag.
Nope. Oh. Hi, baby. Let's let the floofers get on camera. Yes. Luna. Sure. Where's sweetie? I'm a baby. Hi, sweetie. Sweetie. Say hi. Say hi up here. Look. This. What's this? Luna says hi. She's doing good. It's my cat is weird. She. Well, yeah. Hi. What? When she wants to be petted, she lets you know. Okay. Hold on. Come here. Come up. Okay. Yes. How are you? How are you? You're such a good girl. Are you such a good girl? Yes. I know. Okay, I gotta finish my game. Okay? I gotta finish my game. Okay? What's that? She's interested in the print. You want to see it? What is it? Somebody printed a kitty. You want to see a kitty? Look. Is that exciting? Not exciting? Okay. She's doing good. We're still working on integrating her with the other two. They're still a little skittish of each other. So we're doing daily. Yeah, this is the new one. Yeah. Here.
Oh fuck.
Oh, that's why there was no head.
This level of mutilation. This is going to be a dirty job. I'll check through the bag the police left.
Why win and so forth. Here, let's do this. This is gonna minimize because why not? I hate games that do that. So, oop. That's what she looks like, face on. That is Luna. Last Friday, which is why I wasn't here. What happened is I donate to the Minnesota Humane Society at least every 2 months. It's sometimes monthly, depending on how much money I have. Just because I love animals. So I was on the website Friday, and I first closer to 10, and I decided to look. So I looked at puppies, and there was a husky puppy, about a year old, who you just looked at her and went, "Oh my God, And I was like, okay, can't do this. I can't do this. Can't do this. And I clicked off and finished my donation stuff and went about my business. But then I went back and looked again and went, oh my God. And I went and told the wife, and I said, I think I may be doing something dumb. And she goes, what? I go, you got to come look. And I showed her, and she's like, oh my God. So I got the daughter, and we drove to the shelter where she was at. They didn't open till noon. I called them at noon and said, hey, is this dog still available? And she didn't have a name. They just had to list her as Stray. She goes, yep, still here. I said, any chance that you could, you know, we're on our way. I said, we live about an hour and a half away. So we could, you know, be the first ones to visit her. She goes, we can't do that. I'm like, okay. I said, I guess we'll take a chance. So we drove up there, and literally an hour and 30 minutes later, we walked in and said, hi, and we'd like to meet the Stray. She's like, which one? I said, oh. She goes, is it the Husky? And I went, yeah. She goes, yeah, she's already on hold. I'm like, mother. Disappointed. And I didn't tell my daughter, because if I would have told her ahead of time, the disappointment would have been even worse. So we were sitting in the parking lot, called the wife, said, yeah, we're too late. You know, we live so far away, there's no way we could have got there at a decent time. And we're looking at, you know, there's a Adopt Love website that you can look at available dogs, and we looked at a couple and like, no, don't want, because the rule for this dog was the next dog that gets picked, I get to choose, so it's my turn. And we saw Luna, and I called the shelter she was at. Yep, she's still here. She's been here about a month. I'm like, okay. I said, from where we are now, it is 2.5 hours away from us. I said, is there any way that you could hold her? Because I would hate to drive 2.5 hours for nothing. And she goes, if you fill out the application online, you will be the first in line. I'm like, I'll do it now. So I filled out the application, called the wife, and we decided we'll go up. So we did. We drove 2.5 hours north and got in. And the very first time I met her, I was sitting down in a chair, and where they get her is a hallway straight across from the chair I was at, and their kennels were back there. And she brings her in on a leash, and she lets her go in the hallway. And Luna came at me full force, but about 3 feet from me, did this twist onto her back and slid into my feet back first, paws up, like, do it. And I was like, God damn it. You had me at hello. And she came in and just one of those belly rubs right away. Just like, yes. And it was exciting. Like, okay. I said, be honest with me. What's wrong with her? She goes, nothing really. I mean, she's a jumper. And I go, okay, like she jumps on people. She goes, no. When you see it, you'll know. And I learned quickly. She doesn't just jump up and put, paws. She jumps up like a mosh pit, arms at the side and leaps with her head. And she wants to boop noses. So she comes at you nose first, trying to boop your nose. And I'm about 6 footish, and she comes up and she's like, whoop. I'm like, okay. She goes, that. So she's completely healthy. She's about 1.5 years old. She's already spayed. So she's ready. She was ready to go home. Me and my daughter spent about half an hour with her, till they closed at 6. We got there at 5:30. And brought her home. Meeting other dogs at first was not good. They said that she was with 3 other dogs that are at that shelter, and that she's friendly with all the other dogs. And she walked in, and I had her leashed up, and she just started growling. She was not happy to see the other dogs. So we tried a little meeting at first, you know, a little butt sniffing and that kind of stuff. It went okay until Finn decided just to be a dick and try to nip her. You know, he's trying to hump her. He nipped at her, and that drove her insane, which drove Athena upset. You know, so there was a angry barking back and forth. So now she's kind of like here in my office. This is where she's sleeping for now. And we've got them separated. So we're doing, we go outside a couple times a day with, you know, leashed, and have her, like, we'll bring Finn out first, and, you know, someone will lead Finn around and someone brings her behind, you know what I mean? So we're just doing the slow walks and the slow getting used to. And then over the last couple of days, we're just getting closer and closer to see how things are going, so we can eventually get them to hopefully do a close walk without anything. Today went really well. The big animosity is between Luna and Athena, believe it or not. I wonder if the other dogs will get jealous of her status and she can go into the friend beast lair. I mean, I think Athena's jealous. I'm not jealous. I think she's upset. She wants to play with her so bad. Like, she wants to play with her. A husky, that's bold. Athena's half husky, half German Shepherd, and that she's fine. I don't mind him. Hello, I am Dog. Please donate to the Minnesota Dog Charity. I don't remember the name. I am Dog. I donate to the Minnesota Humane Society because I think they do a wonderful job. And this shelter was a very small shelter. When I say in the middle of nowhere, I mean in the middle of nowhere. And I think that's probably the reason why she was still there, because it's deep in farm country. And farmers don't want bigger dogs. They want, you know, the small ones. So then the family came to pick her up, and I killed them, so the hold was let go. Look, I was not happy that we got beat. We were looking at a different dog. There was a German Shepherd puppy who was a little brown guy, and his name was Bear. And I'm like, oh my God, how fucking apt is that? And called them, and they were about an hour north of where we were first. And they have this weird policy to where if you're interested and you meet them, you could put a hold on them. And there's a maximum of 3 holds. So I called, he goes, yep, there are 2 holds on her now. And I go, I don't understand. How does that work? He goes, so you put $20 down, cash, and if the first person doesn't want their hold, the second person gets it. And if you put the third one down and the second person doesn't want them, then you get them. I said, and if that if you put your hold down, if the first person takes them, we keep your hold and use it for other dogs. And I'm like, look, I said, no offense. I said, I don't mind donating. I said, but what are the honest chances that 2 people put a hold on a dog that don't want the dog? So, if all else fails, Thanksgiving is coming up. She's good. She's a wonderful dog. She very affectionate, constant wants belly rubs, trots around, prances, and is, I think, once we get her integrated with the others, officially they will be a pack, because you need 3 to be a pack. I think it's just trying to figure out where they're all going to fit. You know, I know Finn's going to be the alpha because personality and everything else. It's going to be between Athena and her on how things are going. And I know that female dogs are typically mean to each other. I don't know why, but it's just, it is what it is. So, yep. So that's Luna. New floofers. Who is He's a great dog so far. Great dog. Where they're all gonna fit. Cut to Finn, riding Athena, riding Luna. I mean... Yes, clearly they are bitches. Clearly. I think things would go a lot smoother if Finn wasn't so... He's not being aggressive. He just barks at her. You know, he's like, you know, oh, okay. Then all of a sudden he's like, you know, and it kind of freaks out both dogs. It freaks out Athena more than her. You know, she won't growl at Finn, but she has growled at Athena, and I sense some jealousy there. It could be that Athena is with Finn. You know, when they're separated by like a baby gate on the steps, that's how we're keeping them kind of separated. Clearly, if they knew better, they could just... I mean, Athena could probably just step over it. She's so damn big. So, I don't know. Don't try to fake barking. You just said release the luggage and huskies. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was speaking Finn, so I was probably talking about sniffing buttholes. Okay, so we're gonna have a hard time identifying this guy. The contents of the bag. Please be ahead.
Maybe there will be something worth noting about the victim's clothes. Leather belt. You can see that it's been serving its owner for a long time. Plain cotton t-shirt. Classic jeans. Oh, dirty and torn. Certainly not my style. Traces
Yeehaw.
of blood and plasma. It could have been used to stop or reduce bleeding.
Oh! Oh! Do you want to build a snowman? I don't speak small dog languages. Well, you might have said mint fish gasoline if I recall. Well, you put your weed in there.
Interesting. Most of the blood is visible around the neckline.
What's this?
However, after decapitation, I would expect a larger stain, reaching much further. Something's stuck here. It looks like mainly traces of soil. It's a bit like the perpetrator's pulled his shirt over his head.
That looks like snake skin. Okay.
The bloodstains don't appear to be related to any injuries on the body. A lighter, engraved with the police insignia. Stolen? It looks somehow... it's probably a coincidence.
Is there more?
Weird. Someone obviously didn't want to put in the work. These clothes haven't been thoroughly searched.
Why's that pocket sticking out so much? Bobby's got a big old butt. Oh yeah? What else am I looking for? I'm not seeing anything else. Okay. I can't make the shirt go up and down. I can't make this one go up and down. Oh, wait, right there.
And here, another animal souvenir. It looks different than the previous one. The only thing I can tell from the clothes is that before his death, Evans had either put up quite a fight, or the attackers simply dragged him along the ground for a long distance. Okay, I'll take a look at the scales. They seem too different. Dorothy once brought an animal encyclopedia here. She performed an autopsy on an exotic animal smuggler. The guy suffered an accident while transporting illegal animals. Not only were the police needed on site, but it took nearly a day to round up his cargo. Dorothy had a hard time with that case. Did the impact kill him? Or did one of the animals he was transporting do him in? They even talked about it on the news. People were terrified that some reptile would just come out of their can and grab him. Okay, the book.
Analysis of animal traces in forensics. We bought it for $19.95. Sorry, $17.95. Lab.
Who is this?
Okay.
All right. Which page was it?
Okay, we're definitely not looking at a zebra here.
Local wildlife. I bet I'll find
Oh,
something here.
it's a gator.
I'll first have to check the body for marks, and then come back to it. Oh, that was quick. I wouldn't expect anything else.
Croc? Gator's mouths look like a shoehorn. Okay, croc. Sorry.
Nope. It's a completely different color and not this area, but who knows. Nile crocodile. Formerly worshipped as a god. No way. I would expect something local.
Well, that's a
I
crocodile.
certainly don't remember hearing of an animal escaping from the zoo. So, either someone donned in crocodile products was around the deceased, or one of them attacked him. I'll examine the body and take photos. If an animal attacked him, there'll be traces. Ugh, Christ. Why am I so tired? Some coffee would be nice. What was I supposed to... the pictures. I'll have to show them to Dorothy. Too bad that we no longer keep our ranking. With something like that, I would come out on top. There's been a case like this for a long, long time. All right, I'll begin. The deceased's skin is smooth and taut.
He's
This
missing his
suggests an advanced
junk.
stage of decomposition of the corpse.
The croc ate his junk.
Interesting. This needs to be investigated further.
You sure know how to get ahead.
No head. That's not hard to miss. This wound appears to have been made by a sharp instrument. Evans couldn't have tied himself up like that. It looks like some sort of attack or kidnapping.
Well, he was restrained.
There are also clear traces of the deceased ankles being bound in some way.
We care about the missing penis. Apparently that's not an important part of an autopsy, that his junk's missing. Or there's a big bite mark here.
Oh, and as expected, there's a bite.
Okay. Can they open that big? Because there should be one on the back too, right? Which means he had to have... Where? Oh.
Such a
Exposed
wound
femur.
might have occurred during the victim's lifetime. It's unlikely that a human would make such a wound.
I don't know. Humans are pretty fucked up, man.
Nasty.
Nasty boys. But the killer was Ichabod. Crane.
I need to gather my thoughts together. And look at these photos. It seems that this... I wonder whether the decapitation took place before or after death. To check... I have some suspicions about these marks. I should inspect these areas with a magnifying glass first. The work of animals can be seen here. The question is which ones. This looks very promising. The bite is clearly visible. It should be easy to compare with the encyclopedia and identify the culprit. I just need to make it a little bigger. It'll be faster than physically measuring the bite.
So we're gonna fax it to all our friends.
Right. I can never remember whether it was image up or image down. At university, I didn't have facilities like a fax machine. Everything was done by hand. Ah, fantastic. Practically a one-to-one. Just some tracing paper, a pencil,
Should we just
and
leave
I
that
can
there?
check these in the encyclopedia. Now, did I leave them in a drawer? Or maybe a box somewhere? Ugh. I don't remember if I left them out somewhere.
Oh, but we remember we left the Jack Daniels.
now. Looks like I can tidy up after myself. Sometimes. A very, nature-driven case so far. I'll have to consult the encyclopedia again. Good thing Dorothy left it here. Otherwise, I would have had to run back to my place to get some. I would be concerned if it was this crocodile that killed him. It makes sense. This would also explain the molt found in the clothes. It turns out that some of the wounds can be safely blamed on local alligators. However, we cannot blame them for the decapitation. It's not these animals we should be afraid of here.
Baby.
I should
Well,
make some notes and
hello.
start the autopsy.
You want a piece of this?
Brr. And look for other... it doesn't look good. Evans wasn't decapitated with one cut. Several stab wounds of varying depth and circumference. Mississippi alligator. It's strange that an alligator would leave such a clear and smooth mark.
M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-P-P-I.
Soft tissues and genitals. There are even some teeth marks, but... well, it doesn't look like an alligator. The bite is firmly incorporated into the wound. A photo alone won't help me here. I need to make a cast and compare it.
You can make me cast his junk.
Looks like an uneven bite. It's worth taking a closer look at this. Maybe there will be some remaining teeth marks. Evan's right side must have been more attractive to the crocs and insects.
Well, he was all right.
Very strong binding marks. You can see peeled epidermis and small wounds.
Now she's over here playing with toys. Goodness gracious.
The imprints are quite deep and even. From the looks of it, I'd say Evans was restrained with his own belt. It looks like the killer might have missed before they finally hit the neck. There's no end to playing zoologist today. I need a tool with dental impression cement. Can I find it here? No. It's probably lying somewhere around in the lab. I hope the cement hasn't expired.
This guy doesn't seem to be very familiar with this lab if he works there. What are you doing? Oh, you got a ball. Okay. A silicone dispensing gun. Am I looking for some caulk? Take a mold of his caulk. Right there.
A month after the due date. That could be worse.
We're gonna use caulk on his caulk. I don't know if I should use black caulk or white caulk.
Now I need to cover the bite area. Wait until it hardens. I think it's ready. The cast looks quite contaminated from the other wounds in that area. Well, let's hope the imprint turns out better. Brush, ink, and paper. Similar to taking fingerprints. Paint over the area.
Oh, you actually have to do something.
And put a piece of paper on it. That's very strange. I'll run it through the facts and check it on the computer. I really don't want to believe what I'm seeing.
Is that human? Please don't be human. It looks human.
Loading. What? Wow. This is, well, this is quite unexpected. Human teeth. Oh, fuck. I need to tell this to Stephen.
Okay, that's a thing. All right. Let's I like that one. Why is that not working? Oh. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's 100% not it. That's it.
Loading. It'll probably take a while. Maybe not everything is cataloged Loading. It'll probably take a while. Loading. It'll probably take a while. Finally. What
How's that?
The partial impression I have may match several people. Okay, this one is in prison, so he's out. Another in prison. No, here's someone with quite interesting tendencies. Oh, he's dead. It doesn't fit.
Convicted of cannibalistic murders.
I'm afraid this will remain a mystery. The killer's profile is getting more and more interesting.
Can I redo
I
it?
wasn't sure it would amount to anything, but the World Wide Web has been a blessing for speeding up my work. I'm going back to the body. I need to make a note before I start the dissection. You can see that the tool used was sharp and smooth. So, what if it was in the hands of an unskilled person? They look quite shallow. Someone must have inflicted these with some sort of primitive tool. Torn tissue, lacerations, bite wounds. This wound turned out to be more troublesome than I thought it would be. Maybe something chased that alligator away before it bit down properly? For obvious reasons, I record decapitation as the cause of death. I need to verify how deep these wounds go. If they punctured the organs, hemorrhaging could have occurred. The perfect breeding ground for larvae. Fortunately, the deceased doesn't care about it, just like we do now. The abdominal and genital area are supplied with plenty of blood. If the penis was bitten off while he was alive, Evans could have bled to death. Alligators rarely kill humans. Due to the body fat of the deceased, I'm adding a heart attack to the list. Maybe Evans didn't live long enough to experience what happened to him. Time for internal analysis. Finally. First of all, I'll try to determine whether death occurred before the decapitation. With the scalpel, I'll open the deceased's chest. I cut deep, in a straight line, avoiding the navel. We see a lot of fat tissue under the skin. When I remove the ribs, I expect to see even more fat on the organs. Correct. High levels of internal fat, organ size above average due to obesity. I move on to the lung analysis. The deceased smoked cigarettes, but more importantly, you can see, and this is the culprit. Well, it didn't look like the holes were that deep. Such hemorrhage could have been caused by hitting the chest with a blunt object, or a puncture directly affecting the organ. Open pneumothorax should be added to this. The deceased could have experienced extreme hypoxia, and, as a result, obstructive shock. I wonder what the heart looks like then. The organ is enlarged with very clear light, but similarly to the lungs, there is a trace of puncture with a sharp object. In pneumothorax, the heart rate increases. In the event of such a wound, this would mean bleeding out faster and more. In turn, a sudden increase in the amount of fluid in the pericardial cavity could lead to cardiac tamponade, which is also a life-threatening condition. Evans, however, is remarkably clean, considering this turn of events. This all looks quite disturbing. I wonder if I'll find anything on the liver. The organ is fatty and enlarged. The beginnings of cirrhosis are obvious. Well, that's it. This time, nothing to write home about. So, I proceed to carefully remove the stomach. Like most other organs, it is fatty and clearly enlarged, not to mention swollen, partially due to gases, but mainly due to the deceased's lifestyle. I take the organ to the cutting board. The outside is intact. I'm going to check the contents. It sounds like there's an unusually large amount of undigested, and now rotten
Jesus, hold on.
stomach contents inside.
He's over here doing damn IT work. He's got the box of screws out. What are you doing? Here. Want your elephant? Oh? 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 You want that? Do you want that? Do you want that? Okay!
Blood. Evans had to swallow it due to his injuries, which means he was still alive when he was brutally wounded in the chest. Only the trachea left to be examined. Surprisingly, it's not damaged by the decapitation. I move on to cutting it open. Okay. I carefully cut, and... blood. Just as I expected. Evans not only swallowed it, but also choked on it. Looks like I can wrap this up.
Hey, I'm in the middle of something here. I'm in the middle of something here.
Let me tie this together. After he was abducted, stripped, and tied up, he was dealt several penetrating blows to the chest. Then his head was cut off. Evans was deprived of his genitals, and the body served as an easy meal for the animals. Even though there are a lot of injuries on the body that could cause death, it was the decapitation that ended Evans' life. The animal bites on the limbs occurred after death, so there's no reason to treat these as the cause of death. The damage to the lungs and heart must have led to severe hemorrhaging, so there's no doubt that Evans was choking in bloody convulsions, but it didn't last too long. Which I conclude from the small amount of blood in the stomach and trachea. I never thought I'd ever wish someone to have a heart attack. But in this case, it would have been better for him. In some way, it can be said with certainty that James Evans was murdered.
Okay, I determined... Yes, look, right there. Oh, you want me to actually say homicide. Sorry. Sign here.
stitch this poor guy back up. It's really bothering me. Something's not right here. Because even now, the organs are relatively clean. The skin around wounds also, it's like someone pumped it out? Christ. I don't know. I'll leave these questions for the police to solve. And now, I get to head home. It's a fucked up thing. I'll hold off taking long walks in the forest for the near future. I have a feeling that it won't end with just one body. Good night, Mr. Ridley. The body's ready to be picked up.
Sure. Good night.
I think it's the first time in a long time that I finished work at a decent hour. I'll get home and... What? Oh, come on. Fuck! When did I get a flat tire? What the fuck? Fuck. I'm going to Ridley's. Maybe he saw something.
The only thing he saw was page 3.
Ridley, do you know what happened to my car?
What happened to your car?
All the tires are fucking flat!
Well, it happens. Don't you have a spare in the trunk?
Spare ones in the trunk. No one carries 4 fucking extra tires. In the trunk!
Jesus, Handman, calm down. I'll call you a taxi.
Calm down? That's a bit of an exaggeration, don't you think? Have you seen anyone around here? Someone strange? Suspicious?
Except you? No.
Haha, funny. I don't find all these jokes amusing, you know.
What jokes? Hammond, what's wrong with you? It's just tires.
Such things are not a coincidence. What's wrong with me? Things keep happening. Last week, and now this?
Just go wait for the taxi, okay? Fresh air would do you good. Neither you nor I will do anything about it now.
Neither you nor I will do anything? What have you been doing all day? Surely something like this can't just be overlooked.
Maybe you should go outside and cool down. I'm calling a taxi.
Cool down.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to sleep.
It's chapter 3.
It would be easier just to move in and live here. I doubt I'll get reimbursed for the cab.
Wait. Why am I back?
Huh? Damn. It's already late in the evening. Good evening. Any news for me? About my car? You know, the flat tires?
No.
No, what? Have you checked the cameras? Anything?
Handman, I cut my teeth working in prison. I know what to do.
But
there were no strangers hanging around. Maybe you ran over something.
what? All the tires?
Why, possibly. You can congratulate yourself.
Christ.
You should try sleeping more. You've been kind of out of it lately.
That's the first bit of sense you've made all evening.
Good. The body is expected to be ready for pickup tonight, along with your lecture.
What? What? No, what?
You still pontificating? Best hurry, don't you think?
Handman, if you leave the autopsy mess again and go home, I'll put it in your car. I promise.
Fuck me. I don't have the strength for this today. Have I taken my pills today? Did I take it? Or... one more won't hurt. I need to focus. Okay, okay. One by one, Jack. Take it easy. Oh, a burning issue indeed. Then I'll move on to the body. Ah, shit. The lecture. I almost forgot. I'm gonna need the camcorder. This is making me nervous. Oh well. This is not the best framing. Hello, everyone. It's the 20 something of November 1991. Jack Hanlon is conducting the autopsy. Yes, you already know the drill. So, the body is on the slab. Let's see what the police uncovered first. So, the victim is from yesterday's apartment block fire on Drowner Street. Personal details unknown. The exact cause of the fire has not yet been determined. However, it is known that the fire started in the deceased's apartment, where the most damage was reported. The body was not found until the next morning. The tenant was naked, charred, and with severe burns. The owner of the apartment asked about the deceased. He was surprised anyone even lived there. The deceased was sitting in an armchair near the TV. Pieces of pornographic material, an ashtray,
well done.
melted video cassettes, and several bottles of so-called poppers were found in the vicinity. It's difficult to assess whether any escape attempts were made.
I mean, he looked tied up, so...
Firefighters indicated that it was probably the large quantity of poppers found near the deceased and rapid spread of the fire. Well, that's our basic question. Whether the death occurred as a result of fire, or whether he was dead before it. As you can see, the body is in quite an unusual pose. For the purpose of photographic documentation, we'll leave it like that for now. This position is called the pugilistic attitude. This is due to the influence of high temperature on the muscles. The fire reaches the skin first, then the soft tissue, until the skeletal muscles are exposed. Coagulation occurs in exposed muscles due to their fibers shrinking. The extensors yield to the force of the flexors. The muscles contract and contract until the limbs become flexy and deformed. The upper ones are characterized by a triple bend, similar to a boxer holding his hands in front of him. Just 10 minutes will do it. 10 minutes for the muscles and tendons to contract, like a steak on the grill.
What am I missing? Nah, it's not bad. Why would they be bad? Now, if you're hungry for steak, or hamburger helper, or any other kind of well-done beef, burnt ribs, here's one problem I have with the game. I'm supposed to be in a lab. Why is there dust particulate floating around? This should be a clean room.
In the end, we're all just walking meat.
Okay. No commentary.
The deceased must now be straight, probably tied in front and around the crotch level. Which explains why, despite the severe burns, the deceased's limbs are not all that twisted. That's better. It's easier to straighten him now. Without taking out the magnifying glass, we already know that the deceased's skin is heavily charred and cracked. As for the other details, there are crow's feet visible near the eyes. Upper lip reveals front teeth. One of the incisors is broken. There's soot in the nostrils.
Still alive when he was burning.
The rope around the neck wasn't very tight. I don't see it leaving a mark on the skin.
He was into some kink play.
You can clearly see that this is primarily the front of the deceased that was exposed to fire. The victim sat in the chair the whole time, hence his back being in much better condition than this extremely burned area. The rope marks around the wrists are deep and clearly visible. Looks as if a large flap of skin had detached from the calf. The rope at the man's ankles was tied much tighter and more precisely than the one around his wrists. All in all, quite a lot can be deduced from this external examination. The tissue of the mouth was heavily burned as well. The teeth, however, makes me wonder. The eye clenching is a natural reaction of the body to high temperatures. Traces failed to indicate that the deceased suffocated before the fire took hold. That must have been terrifying. Severe burns, covering approximately 80% of the epidermis. He appears to be loosely tied. However, this is the result of the corpse drying out. The wound shows that the rope had deeply imprinted itself in the tissue. Predominance of 4th and 3rd degree burns. The length of the rope was calculated, and appears that the deceased could make limited movements around the perineum. The burns reach through the dermis and hypodermis to reach the muscles. The body is covered in numerous areas. Soot in the nose appears when inhaling harmful and choking smoke. The conclusions are quite clear. Perhaps the deceased lost a tooth, attempting to bite through the rope. It may seem incidental, but for us it's a sign that the deceased was most certainly conscious. It looks like the deceased was a fan of choking while masturbating. Deaths due to a predilection for asphyxophilia do occur, but not in this case. The extent of the thermal stresses on the body could have caused this death.
Autoerotic asphyxiation. Calling it now.
Wounds on the wrists and ankles indicate that the deceased could have been struggling in panic. Burns to the genitals and groin are an additional concussive factor. This is due to the high vascularity and innervation of this area.
Autoerotic asphyxiation with self-mutilation by setting fire to his crotch. Got out of control.
The mixture of fear, sexual arousal, and drugs could have caused a heart attack. In this case, I don't assume that this was a delayed death. We need to check the damage inhaling all that smoke has done to the respiratory tract. I will assess due to the amount of charring. We are unable to collect the victim's fingerprints. Visual identification is also out of the question. You can probably guess what options we are left with. You guessed it, a dental impression. For this, I need impression trays and alkanate material. Please excuse me for a moment. What I need should be somewhere in the lab. Ugh. Okay. It's going well. I should be able to get this done in time. Where are these trays? Maybe in this drawer. I'll warm this up in my hands. Okay. Making an impression is quite simple. You put trays with alkanate into the mouth and press them together in one firm movement until you feel significant resistance. Once the devices have been placed, okay. Again, we will need a piece of paper, a brush, and ink. We will make a plaster model of the deceased's teeth from the obtained impression. We will then make an impression of the mold on a piece of paper, which will be scanned into the computer. You see, it seems so simple, and yet laborious. On the plus side, we don't have to worry about the gag reflex with the deceased, and no need to remind the subject to breathe either. At least he saved the high cost of orthodontic treatment. Wow. Who would have expected a match so soon? Well, the deceased is Richard Jacobson, 47 years old. He had a criminal record and was recently in court for... Oh, wow. For not returning a videotape to the rental shop. Oh, Jesus. I better check if I've still got that copy of... Where were we?
Charged with a felony for not returning a VHS tape. Sentenced to 1 year in prison. Wow. I guess Blockbuster wasn't fucking around when they said, be kind to rewind. America, yeah. Summoned to court for evading payment of a fine. Fine for not returning VHS. Fine for not returning VHS. Drug possession. Marijuana.
Okay. I'll add some details to the clipboard. Okay, and we can move on to dissecting the body. This time, I'll go straight for the loppers. I'll slice it piece by piece. Let me start here. I push hard several times. until I cut a given section. You can see that using a scalpel would be pointless here.
Oh, almost got it.
So much. Almost there.
You can't double tap
Now
it.
we peel back the skin. Now to remove the ribs.
I already had the loppers out.
And we can check out what's going on in here.
Und?
And I see that a lot has happened. In fact, the entire abdominal cavity is flooded. Blood and other fluids have seeped from the blood vessels, flooding the abdomen and chest areas. We have to get rid of this.
Ooh.
I'll go get a cup or a ladle.
A ladle. Not a vacuum. Not any kind of suction. A ladle. Like we made chest
I
soup.
think I saw one somewhere here. Aha. I don't have all night. I'm going to need a vacuum pump. Great. The running around for everything starts again. Why can't things be tidied away properly in this damn mortuary? I'm gonna get Ridley. I wonder where this pump is. Probably in the basement.
Ooh. Going to the scary basement.
Mr. Ridley? Mr. Ridley? I'll just go to the basement and check. Jeez. I don't know what the for. Rusty scrap. God! Where is this infernal machine?
You know, I think something's gonna happen here. This doesn't seem right.
Wow, that's heavy. Can I fit through the door with this?
Okay, maybe not.
I swear I'm going to have an accident here one day. Like Alice, when she twisted her ankle on those stairs. We were supposed to go to the mountains then. It was supposed to be our first trip since... I don't know how long. And Alice...
Hammond!
Because of me, as always, she had to...
Hammond, are you talking to yourself or what?
Huh? What? No, I just...
There is a letter for you. I left it on your desk.
Letter? For me?
Yes, letter for you. Do I have to repeat myself again?
No. Thank you. Where were you? I was looking for you earlier.
And I was retrieving your letter.
Jesus, Ridley. Could you talk to me like a human being from time to time?
I'm just answering the question.
Right. Oh, by the way, the basement hatch is wide open. Maybe you could look into it?
Maybe.
A letter. Fuck! Who delivers letters at this time? It's probably been sat in his office for ages. Just didn't want to move his lazy ass. So, we have the equipment. Now I have to place it somewhere close to the table. Phew. I can finally put this thing down. Alright, just... What? There's no tube? No one's used this for a long time. I apologize to you all once again.
The social room. I mean, the break room? Office. Social room.
These lockers could contain everything we need, or simply filled with people's crap. Screw it. There might be something in here. Yep. I'm sure I wrote the code down on a piece of paper.
If only I remembered where I put it.
They definitely pay me too little for this.
3649.
Man, my memory for numbers. What do we have here? Boxes of disinfectants, syringes, thread, antiseptics. Any other stuff? Oh, that's interesting. But here...
Uh...
I wanted to forget. Alex. I regret so much. Every day. Every fucking day. I can't. I can't take it anymore. Oh, God.
I swear to God, it's like listening to Archer have a breakdown.
I can't. How do I... Phone. Oh. Do not think. Just don't think. Office of the Medical Examiner, Peatsville.
Oh, Jack. I was hoping to catch you at work.
Hi, Dorothy. How's it going?
Good, thanks. And what about you? You sound tired.
Tiring day at work. That's it.
You scared me last time we spoke.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to cause any trouble and say what I said.
Jack, it's all right. You're not causing any trouble. I'm not surprised at all that.
No, really. I mean it. Sorry. I just... I'm fed up with myself.
You should take care of yourself. Didn't you say you wanted to stay at home longer? To rest? You know I pick up the slack at work.
No, I didn't. I can't. I don't want to be there.
Well, why not consider taking a trip, Jack?
Dorothy, please. I really don't have the energy for this today.
No, I just wish.
Stop it. Why are you calling?
Reminder about annual drug testing. I figured you probably didn't remember.
Oh, yes. I've had a lot going on. I even forgot my own birthday.
Leave your samples at reception on your way home. Someone will pick them up from Ridley in the morning. Probably Steven or someone else at the station.
Sure. I'll try not to forget. Okay, well,
Jack? Try not to do anything stupid, okay? Alcohol, your medication. No, you shouldn't.
I have it all under control. I should be getting back to work.
The results should be in tomorrow. I'll call you when we know.
Right. Thanks.
Goodbye, Jack.
Bye. Annual drug testing. I'll take care of it before I go home. I feel terrible. There's been a bit too much going on lately. I was supposed to collect the hose.
There we go. On Prime, the third movie under documents is, wait for it, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Focus on your work,
Not seen that
Jack.
in so long.
All right. Here I am. I hope that was the last long break in this session.
It is a documentary and comedy genius.
So, let's connect the tube.
All right, set the pump to full speed.
We turn on the machine.
Those aren't pillows. Okay.
With this amount of fluid, there's no point in holding back.
And there we go.
Still a few nooks and crannies left. External examinations did not reveal any tissue defects that would reach the internal organs. So, I expect the organs to be intact.
Wow. Like all of his blood went to his chest.
In a way, it's quite extraordinary. That even with such severe burns, skin, fat, muscles, peritoneal fascia, they can keep the insides intact. The organs are all present.
Bloodsucker. Pump blood out of an abdominal cavity.
High carboxyhemoglobin levels, the level of which I will determine from a sample of blood. I will be inserting needles into the heart and femoral artery. What interests me here is not the presence of this substance itself, but rather its percentage content. But first, I'll need the values for the centrifuge.
How does he not have these
I feel like
memorized?
I've been here forever. Jack, focus. Just a little bit longer. Corpses recovered from the site of fire may have very different and complex histories. Burning is only at the surface. Underneath, it may be a heart attack, stroke, or pulmonary embolism. This particular case appears quite basic.
"10 minutes at 85%.
However, I would warn against making a diagnosis too hastily. A fire victim does not always mean death due to smoke inhalation. The centrifuge has completed its cycle. So, as usual, I will take the samples to the laboratory, and I'll be back with the results shortly. Ugh. What exactly was I supposed to test for? COHB. I'll take 2 milliliters of each sample. Ugh. Death due to carbon monoxide poisoning. Alright, I'll note this down and perform a check of the organs. What? Where? Mr. Ridley?
Maybe review the tape. See if he walked off.
Why did he take that fucking body? Maybe I think I'm just tired. I don't understand what's going on. What's wrong with me? Something strange is happening here. What? Why did you take the body?
What body?
Well, the body, you know, from the autopsy room.
Christ, him. I didn't take any of your bodies.
So who took it?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
But I...
Get back to work. It's late.
Alright, what the hell? Half expecting it to be sitting in my chair.
I think there's... I must have been seeing things. Results. Well, then we can... from the results... we can now be sure that the carboxyhemoglobin concentration was fatal. I think I should inspect the heart. The organ has a reddish pink tint, which results from the concentration of COHB and general congestion of the organ. Other than that, I can cross this off my list now. We will look at the lungs more carefully. From the outside, just like the heart, it is congested, and the color indicates poisoning. Thermal damage is visible here and there. Enough of the external exam. It's time to grab the knife and dissect the lungs. I need to check for any obstruction, burns, or clots. Jesus. Alright. You can see changes in the lung parenchyma caused by burns and smoke inhalation. Nothing new here. So let's complete the notes. And let's check the trachea. The color is the same as the rest of the organs. Significant congestion. Let's see what it looks like inside. Okay, the final cut. There are visible burns inside, but what catches the eye the most is the amount of soot. Looks like our subject was in the thick of the fire. Let's deal with the final notes, and we're ready to go. I considered the direct cause of death to be severe carbon monoxide poisoning, leading to extreme hypoxia of the body. The extreme burns on the deceased's body and respiratory tract indicate that he must have been surrounded by fire. During the examination, no other factors were found that could have contributed to the victim's death. Environmental data does not indicate any third-party involvement. Just need to add my John Hancock and sew up the body. Close the body, trying not to damage what's left of the skin. As for stitching, well, it varies. It can be so for this job, a thicker needle and heavy-duty thread. Well, everything's holding together. Keeping it together is invaluable in this line of work. Well, after storing the body, there's nothing left for me to do, but thank you for your attention. All the best, and good night. My God. What an exhausting day. I need to get these gloves off and call a taxi. I swear I'm about to pass out from exhaustion. Oh fuck, urine sample. Oh no. Okay, this is it.
Finally get to pee.
I'm dehydrated. I should drink more water.
Watch out for the ring.
That's expected. Sleeping like a log.
Oh,
I'm jealous.
he's not reading. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
What's going on here?
moving taxi. We will take you wherever the wind takes you.
Hello. I would, like to order a taxi to 574 Presley Street.
Okay, hun. All of our drivers are busy at the moment. Best I can do is within the next hour.
An hour? Oh, no. Alright. Let it be.
Can I take your name?
Jack Hanman.
Okay, thank you. Do you have our loyalty card?
Oh.
Would you like to set one up? Our regular customers, we have discounts and extra...
Would that make the taxi get here faster?
Well...
I thought so. Thank you. Goodbye. This is already giving me a headache.
Let's see if it takes an hour.
Oh, Jesus. Now.
Phone.
Yes, how can I help you?
Jack, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Why did you do that?
Oh my God! What was that? What the fuck? Fuck. It's because the... This was some kind of mistake.
And drink some whiskey. Okay, yeah.
I need a drink. Oh, strong. Everything's spinning.
What the crap? Like a high school band warm-up. That was our band. They play Eye of the Tiger.
Do I... Is this... Fucking shits. They went too far this time. What's that? Is that blood? Oh God, what's happened? Mr. Ridley? Oh fuck. Can't you hear all this commotion?
I don't know.
Are you deaf?
Sure, whatever you say, Hen.
Why is that even funny? Do I need to bring you the evidence?
Sure, if you have some. Me? I think you slept too much myself.
Go and see for yourself. I'm going home. The taxi is probably waiting. I guess I should take my pills. I should go to the cemetery later. Buy flowers. Not today. To forget the most important of things. Every fucking time. Oh my God. Alice. No. It's only just... Oh, I'm so tired. It's November 29th, year 1991. The autopsy is performed by Dr. Jack Hanman. 30, tattoo parlor employee. Found in the morning at the sinking road stop on the outskirts of the city.
If this ends with him locked in an asylum, I'm sending my moosies to the devs.
Investigators determined that the victim was most likely dumped close to the nearby forests. She crawled to the bus stop on her own, as evidenced by the traces of blood she left behind. The body was lying in the grass beside the road, where it was spotted by commuters waiting for the morning bus. According to the information provided by the aforementioned friend, the car belonged to the Hurricane Taxi Network. The company was provided with a description of the driver. However, they deny that any of their drivers fit the description. The police have been looking for the man since yesterday. A friend at the salon testified that the last time she saw Amber was 2 weeks ago. It was her last day at work before her vacation. At around 9:40 p.m., she left in a taxi for a flight to Amsterdam. Why do people do such things? The deceased was brought in now.
God damn.
Photographic documentation. The deceased's skin is extremely pale. No livor mortis is visible. Several signs of redness on the neck and chest. The deceased is caked in dirt and mud. Lots of rough, irregular slashing cuts. The deceased is also missing her left leg. Extensive hematoma on the victim's forehead. The palm and front of the hand is covered with numerous wounds. The deceased is missing her right arm. You can see that Alice has been through a lot.
Wait, is this supposed to be his wife?
Why is she so... Focus. The overall picture is... I'll grab... The wound looks relatively fresh. The deceased could have fallen, or maybe she was struck hard. Minor redness appearing in several places. The wounds were stitched up by someone who knew what they were doing. However, it seems that the sewing was done in a hurry, and quite carelessly at that. The wound on the bend of the elbow seems much deeper. I'm wondering about this bruising. There are no signs of internal bleeding, detectable through an internal examination. Both the arm and leg were taken all the way to the joint. The perpetrator used a scalpel, but the cut line itself looks jagged. These wounds appear to have been caused by crawling across rough ground.
God, did he kill his own wife?
Let me set this up somehow. This injury could have been fatal for Alice. Some of the wounds were made by the victim crawling, and the hickeys are not fatal. I assumed that the deceased had a cannula inserted and was groggy the entire time. There appear to be no signs of struggle. The stitching doesn't appear fresh. Amber appears to have suffered like this for at least a few days. It seems that the perpetrator was very interested in preserving as much skin as possible. We do not know the exact circumstances of the wounds, or the conditions in which the deceased was kept. Maybe it was an accident, or perhaps the final blow. I'll check with the UV lamp whether what the perpetrator did. Extensive toxicological tests should help determine what substances she was given. There are many indications that she wasn't aware of what she was being put through. It is unknown how much blood Amber lost during her escape, and especially how much during the procedure. Even though the wounds were stitched closed, they were clearly reopened by the act of crawling. Infection could have set in. Even if that wasn't fatal, it would severely weaken an already strained body. This has the hallmarks of some... I will, check the UV lamp. Cases like these, strong and clear traces of tape.
Why
Alice, you know that I would never...
you do hat? Why did you do hat? I don't know. I like hats.
Jack, breathe. It's just...
I'm more disturbed that he wears his gloves while he takes his pills. You know. That's gross.
Well, we left off with the torso. There are no... You can see that there are traces around the hickeys. Most likely saliva. Traces of smeared blood from wounds. More traces of the dramatic fight for survival. The perpetrator was obviously looking for an opportunity to fulfill his paraphilia. Oh, Christ. The police will have plenty to do. If I can find my hard drive, I can just take an X-ray. I'll move these tables away. Make room for the X-ray machine. Maybe Dorothy should take over for me today. I keep wandering off in my thoughts. Fuck! What's going on here? Have I lost my mind? I must have gone crazy. Oh, here it is.
Holy old drive, Batman.
Huh? Oh, these bulbs need changing.
They all know.
Huh?
Did you answer your phone?
Telephone? What phone?
We all know.
Huh?
The phone rang a few minutes ago.
I didn't hear anything.
For you to take medicine.
How so?
For you to get results.
Yeah. I'll call them back.
I mean, this looks like an X-ray machine, right?
Oh, I guess I've been here too long. How many takes is it? It all rolls into one.
Normally I'd end by now, but I think this is getting towards the end.
All right. Now fire it up. Center it between the eyes at the root of the nose. Okay, looks good. I thought for sure this whole thing would have tripped the breaker. Alright, I just need to take I'll print the image and... I need to check the frontal bone, crystal galley, aneurysm, internal auditory canals.
Wait.
Alice.
This computer...
frontal sinuses. Why did this have to happen to her? The greater and lesser wings of the sphenoid bone and... Another kidnapping this month. Drive connected. Now, just to upload the image. And now I can print it. It looks like a good exposure, but why can't I see the wound? I need to look at this in the light box. Strange. I guess I'll have to repeat. Let there be light. Damn. I knew this luck wouldn't last. I almost believed that this would go off with that. These flickering lights would drive anyone over the edge. And now it's all broken. Great. Fuck. Don't you wish? I'll need the flashlight and to find Ridley for help. What? There's a surprise. Why is it that whenever I need Ridley for something, he magically disappears into the ether. Oh my god.
Because he's
Alright.
never there.
What now? I'll start the generator in the shed. Maybe it's been left unlocked. For once, Ridley's carelessness will be useful. Great. And the keeper of the keys has left his post. God, I haven't even started the dissection yet. Fuck it. I'm gonna get a hammer. I don't have the time or the strength.
Very Jacob's Ladder. Kinda, yeah. I gotta watch that movie. I haven't seen that. It's Tim Robbins, right? I haven't seen that forever. Wait, there was two of them? I didn't know it was a remake.
Jesus. I'm feeling dizzy. Oh, I'm exhausted.
Nah. Do that every single time. Did they change the story? Oh. Really?
God damn it. It's actually holding up. Well. Something new in this shithole. Makes a shame. God. I am not doing well. Something's missing here? Some kind of switch or crank. Oh no. There's so much shit in here.
It did not really for the better. Felt like a bad shamalama ding dong.
Yes.
I mean, he's only done one good movie, I think. I mean, that's my opinion.
It fits. Alright. Now, just to crank it up. Something wrong? Great, get started. Not for long. Oh man, empty. Sure would make a nice decorative ornament for the garden, though.
The Elevator Devil one. Which one was that? I quit watching his movies after The Village or whatever it was called. He should have made 6 cents and said, you know what? It was good. I'm done. People trapped in the elevator and getting picked off. I mean, do the lights go out? And that's when it happens? Rar.
Empty.
Lights than supernatural. Hmm. don't suppose the generator will take propane and or propane accessories. Damn it, Bobby! Where's this gas can? The knockoff on Prime where one person has a bomb. I couldn't hurt myself by watching that. Yeah, I'm assuming there's not going to be gas in here. Because, you know, well, we got propane and or propane accessories in here, so. Yeah, you could get gas out of that. Yeah.
Cases like these can be extremely disturbing.
Get gas in here. Let's put gas in one of these. Huh. If the lights are out, how's the X-ray still on? Making me search for gas is not very cool. It seems like a drag the game out moment. I like how you have to be close to the door to open it, but by doing so it pushes you away. Can I just take it from my car? No? Okay.
Empty.
Did I just totally miss it in here? Yeah.
Empty. Sure would make a nice decorative ornament for the garden, though.
Okay, what the funk? Jack is weak. And psychic as he opens both doors with one hand.
Just empty, nothing inside.
Ruh-roh.
Finally.
Why did I say finally?
I'll just start this thing and call Dorothy. I think I've had enough. I shouldn't even be here. Not today.
It's like filling up a glass.
I guess that's enough. Nice. Another empty jerry can to add to the collection. I'm not used to this, but...
That's chapter 5. Nope.
My head. What just happened? What the fuck?
I'm the one to blame.
Who tied me up?
It's only for a moment. Sorry, man.
Steven? What the fuck do you mean?
Think I hit you too hard with that shovel.
Oh, haha, great fucking joke. Untie me now. I don't have the energy for your shitty games.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I don't understand. Steven, what do you mean? This has got to be some kind of mistake.
You and your moaning, you and your problems. You're not the victim here.
But...
Shut up! Can you shut your mouth for just one fucking second? To me, you are just a murderer.
But... What?
What? Knocked down? You thought I didn't know anything?
I don't have any idea what you're talking about! Steven!
My poor sister. Even now, you can't muster up any courage, any honesty. You disgust me. I suspected you from the beginning. As soon as I found out that Alice is dead, I knew it was you. Tumors, aneurysms, unexplained circumstances. Who are you trying to fool? For God's sakes, you're a doctor!
Steven, no. It doesn't work like that.
Shh! I haven't finished talking. Why did you lie, Jack? Why didn't you say anything? You confessed! I knew I had to do something about it myself. Any of this making any sense yet? Threats? A ring? Photos? Red Pete on the loose? He died in that accident, by the way.
You sick fuck.
Yes, I am! You've no clue just how much. Oh, I'm on some fantastic fucking drugs for it. Only, I've been slipping them to you. I was hoping to break you down, that you'll be pushed into doing something drastic to yourself, and I'll just stand there and watch.
Her tumor was incurable.
That's a filthy lie.
This... It was only a matter of time.
Again, lying!
I saw the scans.
You know what? I think I've had enough of your bullshit.
All right. Okay. I lied, but hear me out. We had an argument that day. Worse than usual. I was drunk. And I was angry. There was a fight. I pushed her. I pushed her against the wall. She hit her head and she fell. She fell. Yes. Just like that. Limp and lifeless. I panicked. I thought, I don't know. I didn't think at all. I was afraid I had caused it. That someone will accuse me. That it'll be the end of my career. When I called an ambulance, it was too late. Way too late.
It wasn't an accident.
And then I lied. I said that's how I found her. That I wasn't there with her. And now, there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about it. Everything. This whole year. Just dead memories. As if I didn't exist at all. Since that day.
Fuck, here we go again. Even now. Even now, you have the nerve to lie.
Stephen, I'm sorry. I suffered too.
It wasn't an accident. You understand now? Someone has to pay for this.
What's going on here? Stephen dropped the gun.
It's none of your business, Sean. Leave and forget you saw anything.
Steve, you know I can't do that.
Mr. Ridley, please, run!
Shut up!
You know I'll shoot if I have to.
Well, in that case, that makes it worse.
Stephen, no!
The fuck? I hate that ending. I hate that ending. What the actual fuck? Are you kidding me? I did not like that. Yeah, I wish it was just a dream or he was in an asylum rather than that. That was anticlimactic. Yeah. Yeah. Overall, the game, it wasn't bad. It's very hand-holdy, which is okay. Graphically, great. It was what I was hoping for. Wasn't expecting a story mode like that. I was hoping to go more along the lines of a CSI kind of thing, not a guy losing his fucking mind kind of thing. Yeah, I guess the overall story I didn't like it. Especially that ending. Absolutely hated that. Absolutely hated that. I want to hear the voice actor because that guy, like I said, it's fucking Archer. All day long. Let's get to the voice actors. Come on. Get to the stars of the show. Yeah, there were many directions they could have traveled to, but they chose that one. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Did I miss the voice actors? Now I'm looking at all the different translators for localization. The interim CEO. What happened to the regular CEO? Did he read the storyline and went, I'm done? What are you thinking? No, my name attached to that? Because that ending was They're bad. Is this dog food, Luna? Seriously? How'd you do that? How'd you do that? How'd you do that? Come up here. Come here. Come up here. How you doing? Say bye to the people. Look over here. Look up here. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Not there, sweetie. It's here. Look. Here. Look up. Yes, baby. I know. I know. Okay. I know. Yeah, it's been a party. It's been fun. It's been fun. Oh, floofers is such floof. All right. Well, I don't want to sit here and watch this just to drag it out. Okay, I'll take it in a minute. Okay, go in a second. Give me a second. I'm gonna end. Hour late, but it's over. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good night. Stay safe. Be kind. If things stay the way they are, I'll be back tomorrow night. And I don't know what I'm gonna play. I got a couple other ones. I got a game called like Little Kitty Big City that looks freaking hilarious. Maybe that'll be my next one. I don't know. Or I've got Relaxing Simulator, which sounds relaxing. Anyway, you guys have a good night. Catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.